Well, the conflict that has plagued the Labour Party for some time was put to rest earlier this week when the Court of Appeal sacked Julius Abure as the self-proclaimed national chairman and recognized Senator Esther Nanadi Usman as the authentic national chairman. Labour Party chieftain Abayomi Arabambi joins us now to discuss this development and its likely impact on the future of the party. It's great to have you in the studio. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and good afternoon.
Okay, so the court has made a decision. How does the party generally feel about the decision?
Well, thank you very much. I think I just called the National now. They said they have filed appeal against the judgment, even though the judge has not given us the CTC as he promised. But the lawyer that sold that narrative to the entire press yesterday, including your station, was the one that actually said the judge made two pronouncements which we are interested in, that the court declared Nanadi as the chairman in line with the Supreme Court judgment, and that the judge said tenure of Abure-led executive has also expired in line with the Supreme Court judgment. So we will want to take that with a pinch of salt, because sometimes when you choose to slumber, if a man decides to slumber himself into what we call somnambulism, is likely to be afflicted with a fantasy we refer to as physiologia fantastica, where you are involved in a pathological line, you distort fact, you distort history, and you think everybody will believe your dramatic lies. For me, if we see that judgment, because this is the judgment of the Supreme Court that Justice Peter Lifu predicated his judgment upon. I normally lie when I'm on a rise to say some fact that this is an international television, and I'm offering myself for probe by the ICPC, by the EFCC, and by the Inspector General of Police. If what is here is not what in the judgment, what is here, there is no place in the judgment where Nanadi was pronounced as the party chairman. That's why I said I've offered myself for proof. There is nowhere in the judgment of April 4 where the Supreme Court pronounced Nanadi as chairman, and there is nowhere in this judgment where the court said Abure tenure has expired. Now, what they are trying to mislead the public is that we on our part know what they call ratio decidency in law. Lawyers are listening to me, the Chief Justice of Nigeria are listening, the Attorney General are listening, and there's something we call obiter dictum. Ratio decidency, as far as we are concerned, is the fulcrum upon which a judge delivers his judgment. That is what is placed before you. But the obiter dicta is just, judge admonition.
Abayomi, I have to interrupt you. I apologize. We have to go back to Davos. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is about to address the 56th World Economic Forum in Davos.
The conflict that has plagued the Labour Party for some time was put to rest earlier this week when the appeal court sacked Julius Abure as the self-proclaimed national chairman and recognized Senator Esther Nanadi Usman as the authentic national chairman. While Labour Party chieftain Abayomi Arabambi is still here with us to discuss this development and its likely impact on the future of the party. While you're clearly not pleased with this ruling, can you tell us why?
Now, it's not court of appeal, it's the federal court. So that at least Nigerian will know Now, this matter that was decided yesterday by the Justice Lifu, Federal Court 9, actually started January 2025, where the Court of Appeal dismisses the appeal on the fact that though they don't have jurisdiction, they now reaffirm Abure as the national chairman. In an appeal, she was asking constitutional question. Is it normal for a court to pronounce party leadership, to pronounce national chairman? And the court, in the opinion, that Supreme Court, agreed with her that court has no jurisdiction to pronounce leadership of party. But before then, there have been convention that Abure, was re-elected by even the chairman of the convention committee, which was Governor Lesoti, who sent his deputy. They were the one that, conducted the convention, and it was announced. But you see, I think they slept on their right that time. They didn't challenge that convention pre and post, and it became settled bar. They now started their issue to see how they can now corner the leadership through the court. But what we were told and what we are waiting for is very simple to tell Nigerians, that we were told the court said, Supreme Court said Abure tenure has expired. That is false. 2, that Usman was declared by the Supreme Court, and they now went to seek consequential judgment. I think in Nigeria, to be very honest, no lower court, whether Court of Appeal or Federal Court, can interpret the judgment of Supreme Court. You can go there for review, but the way things are now, we really do not understand why a judge of the Federal Court will now, be interpreting the judgment of Supreme Court, knowing fully well that his own court is the first court, Court of Appeal is the second, while Supreme Court is the last. But there are what that they did yesterday. We are still waiting to have the CTC. But one thing I want to tell Nigeria is that we are not going to allow this one to slide like the other one. Once there is any act of perjury or forgery against this judgment, no matter whose source is God, we other than filing an appeal, we have to make this very clear to security agencies and even escalate it outside Nigeria. Because if what is not said by the Supreme Court is being claimed to be pronounced by a judge in Nigeria, then there is a problem, because this thing is written in simple English, not in French, and they should be able to at least dissect it and understand what they were saying. They are just simple English that even, not so one student can read. So if they now say, oh, it was an error, we will not allow it to slide. I am on a rise now. That's why I am taking my time, that I am open to investigation by the ICPC, EFCC, and the police, if what I've just read there is false. But if they should insert any clause that is not here into that judgment, then Nigeria will now see that we know our right, will not allow it to slide, we'll have to proceed. But that judgment of yesterday will be trashed into the dustbin by the Court of Appeal, which is just normal for us, that when a judgment is given, we have to. But as it is, Supreme Court judgment is what is still obtainable on INEC website. A federal court cannot be directing INEC over a matter that INEC were parties here, and you will not be telling them that please remove this person and put this person, when he is not even a member of this their lordship that decided this matter on April 4. It is somehow very, very funny, and we find it very, very funny, honestly, in Nigeria, that a judge of the Federal Court, for the first time in Nigeria, has reviewed the judgment of Supreme Court. And now he has made a judgment, no problem. We will have the CTC. But if any part is forgery, we will go for perjury, we will go for forgery before the security agency, and even escalate it to US, to UK. Even if they are going to bring drone to arrest that person, we will pursue this matter until to logical conclusion. We are not going to allow any form of alteration of this judgment to slide, no matter who source is go. Whether any government is involved, we don't care. We will make our case known to the international community.
Hopefully it doesn't come to the case of having to have the US and the UK
we
intervene
have
with
told,
the drones and such.
Of course, we have told somebody that we're about to submit it. We don't want to have the CTC. We will submit it to the American Congress. It is better, we try to streamline the way our judiciary will work. You remember the last election. These are some of the things that people did, that they were accusing people that doesn't do something. Like I said, I can give you this copy.
Just before you
can
continue,
see, this is
we
the
just
original.
want to know what is the way forward now?
No, the way forward, we have filed our appeal, even though we will still amend it, because the judge promised us that, the CTC will be ready that yesterday. Today, we have to file that appeal because, we knew the game they want to play. And we have also filed motion for seal of execution of this judgment, which is the normal practice in law. But aside that, once we have the CTC, then arise, being an international television, you will now hear more from us. You will hear more from we are not going to allow it to slide. Because somebody that wants to govern, we must be accountable to Nigeria. We must be faithful, and not just to be, making false statements or narrative just because we want to hoodwink people to think, we are omnipotent or omnipresent. No, we don't believe in that. So Abure remained the chairman. It is Federal Court. He remained the chairman of the party because from there we'll still go to Supreme Court. Whether they or we'll still go to Supreme Court, but I know for anyone, whether INEC or them, I want to see a lawyer that will represent them in the Supreme Court. Because we have seen precedent where lawyer will find 20 million by the Supreme Court. When you go for their review, we have seen precedent in this Nigeria. We will wait for them to see the lawyer that will come there and now be distorting facts that are in this document, because it is in the public view and signed by the judges by themselves. Is here.
Arabambi, I'm wondering if there is room for a peace and reconciliation process, within the party after this ruling by the Federal High Court. This matter has been dragging on in several courts for so long. Isn't there any other way in which this could be resolved so that the party can move forward and prepare for the 2027 election?
Well, thank you very much. In the word of Martin Luther King, he said the ultimate tragedy is not in the equality or oppression by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people. When whatever you want to do, when you come to equity, the normal time is that you have to come with a clean hand. These are people, when you follow their trajectory from Abga, Mr. Peter Obi, whose child is this and another Usman Lesoti, from Abga, the former governor, his own successor, was the one that pushed him out of Abga. He went to PDB, then to Labour. When you have a conquest mission, there is no way anybody will want to sit down with you on the table. But when you have, a very clean mind, people will definitely, agreed with you that, okay, let us find a way. When you war, you judge.
Very well said.
You understand?
Thank you so much for coming and airing your views here on Newsday. We wish you all the best with your party in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much.